sees wherever we are. Sorry.
You're fine. I gave you
Thanks,
guys
Mom.
2 things. I gave you all of the kids' booklets for the College and Career Fair on Friday, as well as your teacher instruction pages that we would ask that you go over so that you know what's going on. This morning, Joyce and Deb, I believe, sent out a PowerPoint presentation that you're going to be showing tomorrow to your Learning Lab students. Your Learning Lab students will not be the students that you will be accompanying on Friday. You will be accompanying your student success students. But all of the prep work will be done in Learning Lab tomorrow. We apologize. Originally, we had planned for Wednesday, then realized Wednesday was an early release day, no Learning Lab, so we had to bump it up. So, we'll go ahead and get started. You guys attack, Knights attack the future, achievement through talent, academic, career, and knowledge, and this is all of the pre-fair prep. What is it? This is exactly what you're going to show to your kids, okay? So what is it? Well, it's our half day, and it is our annual College and Career Fair. I think most of the kids will know already, but what can you expect? There will be several different speakers representing the different career pathways. There will be a college fair that will be located in the gym with different colleges, universities, trades, technical schools, as well as the military. A better understanding of your talents and the careers that best fit those talents. That's the Missouri Connection piece that we'll see in just a minute. What do we expect from you? I know that we're always hounding the kids about appropriate behavior. On this particular day, it is really important that they behave. And the reason I say that is because we have a lot of folks coming in. We have a media person coming in, and that would be horrible if we ended up on the 5 o'clock news that Northwest Middle School students did not know how to be pro-social. So just as a reminder, appropriate behavior during both the speaker panels, during the college fair, in the gym, and during that transition piece, because we will be transitioning. We'll be on a very tight schedule. Please follow the schedule, and please familiarize yourself with the schedule that is in the teacher instruction. I believe at the Joyce gave these out. This is the second copy of this that you have, but please review it.
I know I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine.
As far as discipline, like if we see a kid disrupting,
just make the correction.
Besides going over and telling them to stop, and if they don't, what's the next step? Do we just take the kid out of the hallway?
I would, yes. Just like you do in your classroom. When you've given a student a verbal warning, yet they continue, because I see you do this. You bring them out to the hall, you have a conversation. I think that's very appropriate. We tended, last year we had no issues. I know. It was as though, a light switch went on, and all of a sudden all of our children behaved in a totally pro-social way, which tells me that they can do it. But yes, that's what I would do, because there will be, Seneca, several adults in each location at any given time. All of our kids know what attentive listening is, because that's a part of our guidance curriculum. Every single one knows what it is. So when you say, what behavior do I expect to see from you during the speakers? Attentive listening. No talking, remain seated, and ask relevant, appropriate questions. Remember, these are professionals that are coming in to our building. They're taking work time to come in and share their talents with our kids. I think it's important that you talk to them about that these people that are coming in are doing it on their time to share with you and to get you interested in the whole career exploration, if you will. What is appropriate behavior in the college fair? Please stress with them no running around in the gym. I noticed last year, I believe, and I know they're going from each different university in each table, because we set it up kind of the way this room is set up. There's about 17 different tables. Kind of try to stay with your students. Ask them to stay kind of with you. It just makes for a more organized experience. They need to move in an orderly fashion from table to table, no sort of hanging out, speak politely to the school reps, and ask their assigned question along with any other relevant questions. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. It's something that you're going to be doing. You won't be doing tomorrow during Learning Lab, but something that will be done that day. What is appropriate behavior during transitions? Of course, walking quietly throughout the hallways because there will be all kinds of folks here, including admin. We'll have their video crew will be here. And not that we should, but we need to make sure that our kiddos are doing what they need to do. Move quickly without running, entering and getting seated for speaker panels quickly, leaving the speaker panels quickly and orderly, and staying with your teacher at all times. Setting up your booklet. Okay, this is pretty much to me, this is one of the most important parts because this stays with a student. You don't need to tell them that, but this piece, the information that's
Just hit your mouse right
the information.
here. Log out.
Did it just come down?
Somebody unplugged my
Oh, it's right there. Here, it's on the side. Here.
where? Oh, for the love of Pete. No, don't do this to me.
Did you push power? Was it dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, push power. That's all right back on.
Hopefully my girls haven't killed each other up in the front office. Oh, I'm coming.
I saw Beck's class, they found them giggling, laughing, playing with the yearbook. They said they fixed their problem. So look, they're advocating, they're doing well.
Yeah, that's
Should be
good.
proud.
I'm proud. I couldn't imagine those two girls anyway.
But they did get an argument or whatever, I don't know.
Oh no. I need my glasses. I just lost power in the middle of my presentation. Somebody unplugged my thing. Not me. I don't know who did. But it wasn't me. Anyway, on that front, I can go on and yap because I don't really need that. On the front of the booklet, please make sure tomorrow during Learning Lab that they go ahead and put their complete names and that they that it's legible. That's the first thing. The second thing, step number 2, this is of utmost importance. They need to put their student success teacher on the front of that booklet. Why? Because tomorrow afternoon we will be collecting from you all of these booklets from your Learning Lab at the end of the block, at the end of the period. Then we will take them and then we will redistribute them according to student success teacher. Because again, the students that you will be with on Friday are your student success kids, not your Learning Lab kids. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Don't let them out of your room until they have that student success teacher right here. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Step 3, setting up the booklet. On page 4, if you open up, I think it's page 4, you will see this sheet. This is all of our schools that will be represented at the college fair. And you will see St. Louis U all the way down. They need to write these schools in that booklet because there's some activities that they're going to be doing the day of the fair that surround these particular schools, okay? And this is also an educational piece. You can say with them, hey, St. Louis University. You can just write SLU, SLU, University of Missouri, St. Louis, or some UMSL. It's just a little learning piece. And we also ask that you wear, if you want, to wear a college shirt or sweatshirt on Friday. Missouri Connections, getting started. All you're doing tomorrow is making sure that the kids can log in. What I do want to tell you is that 8th grade has already been in once this year, so we should not have any issues. But we're going to make sure. So what is Missouri Connections? All of our kids know what this is because it's been talked to since the 6th grade with them. But what it is actually it understands their talents, skills, and interests, and it gives them an opportunity to explore different careers. Setting up the account. They will have to log into MissouriConnections.com. Now, I know some of them don't have Chromebooks. but they'll have to share. There's plenty of time for them to do this in Learning Lab tomorrow because all they're doing is making sure that they can log on. That's it. So they're logging on to MissouriConnections.com. This is the screen that should come up. It should say My Plan, Missouri Connections. It'll look just like that. Okay? The login information for our students is their ID number and the password is Nights1. Okay? So every single student has the same password. Joyce, I think as early as last week, uploaded all of the new students that have come, so everybody should be in this system. If they can't get in, there's two sort of back doors in order to get them logged on. They can use their first and last initial in front of their student ID number to try to get on. And if they can't get on that way, up here it'll have login, and I believe it's this blue one, it'll say guest. All they have to do is click on that and they'll be able to do the activities. We don't want them to do that unless it's absolutely necessary because the information for that particular student, it isn't saved. Like right now, I can go into a student that's been here since the 6th grade and I can see all kinds of different career planning that he did, 4-year plans, all different kinds of things, career exploration that he did just by looking at his account. Okay, so we don't want them going in as a guest. I know I'm talking fast, I'm sorry. Resetting the password. The new password is their ID number with capital H, capital S, little d in front. They need to do this because right now everything is set to Nights1. And we want it set to this. Have them skip over the security questions. They don't need to worry. It'll have a couple security questions will pop up. They can just hit next. Ready to go. This is the screen you'll see. It'll have their name right here. It's pretty cool. What do you need the day of the fair? There's only one thing that we forgot to add.
Real quick before you move
Yes.
on. So once we log them in
Yes.
during our learning lab,
Yes.
that's all we do is log in. We don't do any of the activities
No,
or
sir.
lessons on there.
No, sir. That's all for the day of the career fair. Okay? All right. So we will ask that they bring their fully charged Chromebook, a great attitude. It's going to be a fun day. They're going to learn a lot. We got a lot of great feedback. Kids like that day. It's a fun day. They're also going to need a pencil because there will be some writing that goes on when they're in the college fair. I know I went through that really quickly, but do you have any questions?
They're taking their Chromebooks around with them all day to each panel and all that stuff?
They will be bringing their no. Let me go back. If you go into on your teacher instruction and you find your group, okay? So because remember, you're going to be with your kids all day. So when you find your group and then you open it up, inside it will have your schedule, what your children will be doing. Perhaps speaker panel 4, then speaker panel 5, then they're going back to the classroom and doing Missouri Connections. Then maybe they're going to the CFE, they'll say CF, which is the college fair. So depending upon your schedule, they don't need a Chromebook for the speaker panel. No, sir. They don't need a Chromebook for the college fair. They will need that Chromebook when they're doing their classroom activity, Missouri Connections. Yes, sir, they will. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it kind of just, you're all on different schedules depending upon what your group is. So I would play it by ear. I don't think I would have them carrying, if I had a group that day, I don't think I would. But just make sure that tell them we need your Chromebook to be fully charged that morning. Did that answer your question? Okay. Yes.
Okay, I might be getting ahead, but looking at the actual day of, so like the college fair,
Mhm.
it says cut apart each question. You'll receive a copy of these questions prior to the fair. Because they're supposed to be asking a question.
They are.
So, now I know last year some kids said, I don't want to ask this question, I want to ask this question. And I certainly encourage kids to come, if
I
they
did.
come up with their own question, to ask it.
And I would encourage that too. Actually, there was great debate about that piece, and part of it was to accommodate sixth grade. Eighth grade does a really good job at asking really pertinent questions. So I'm going to kind of leave that up to you. When I went and talked to as a debrief, what we heard from the college fair folks was that the older kids tended to be more right, because they're thinking about high school and they're thinking about 11-year-olds don't, they just don't. Oh, what's your mascot? That's a cute question for an 11-year-old to ask a college. They're not thinking, they're in sixth grade. So I would, that was kind of set up for the younger kid.
Where are the questions if we want to use it?
They're in the booklet.
Packet.
I think they're in the booklet.
No.
Yep. Yep, they're right here. If you go into your booklet, on page 3, it'll say my scavenger hunt question is, type, staple, glue the question given to you by it still says AE. It shouldn't. It should be Learning Lab teacher in the space. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, that's something that they need to have a question. Here's what we don't.
Where are the questions that we're cutting from? That's what we're asking.
Are they not in the booklet? No. They're not?
No, there's nothing in here. It just says.
Or the questions that we're cutting up or suggesting we ask.
Hold on.
These babies are not quite that savvy.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
They're not thinking about cast tomorrow.
Let me get back to you. I'm not sure. I wonder if that was the sheet that didn't get added on. There were 2 things that we missed. Can I let you guys know?
Yeah.
Before Learning Lab tomorrow, I'll send it out in an email.
So we have extra of these for students who are
We
not
do.
here on Tuesday.
Yes.
So we give
Yes.
it to them on Friday.
Yes. I've got a couple of extras, but
Or
yes.
if I have a kid absent tomorrow in Learning Lab, I'll just put their name,
their
on,
name
the front,
on it,
the front,
right.
and I'll figure out who their student success teacher is, so at least that part's filled out.
That would be great.
Okay, so then you've got.
What else are we missing? We're missing something else, I thought Joyce said. The questions?
Well, so now when they go to the Missouri Connections activity. in
No,
the
that's you.
classroom-
That's in the classroom, right. That's based on your schedule.
Correct, I know, but they'll know what to do. It says use the
Yep.
Prezi found in Ms. McCain's Google Classroom to walk the students through the Missouri Connections reality check.
Okay.
Is that already in there?
Yeah. When they sign in on Missouri Connections, let me go back here. I'm going to show you something. So when you get in right here, what you can't see is who am I, where am I going, how do I get there? Under this here, it's just not clear. If you click on a drop down and it's in the Prezi that we sent out, it will say reality check. That's what 8th grade is going to do, because they've already done almost everything that's in Missouri Connections that's appropriate for middle school, with the exception of reality check, which kids tend to like this one, because what it does is you pick what kind of house you want, part of the country you want to live in, what type of house do you want? Do you want to live in the country or in the city? So you pick all these different sort of, where do I want to live when I grow up? And then what do I want to be right now? And what it'll do is it will say, okay, based on the fact that I want to live on the East Coast, and I want to live in a 3,000 square foot, it will tell you, based upon today's, how much money you need to make. It sparks a lot of conversation. It's like, oh my gosh, it's going to cost me $6,000 a month? That's a lot of money. So it sparks a lot of conversation. It's called reality check. And it goes through how, utility payments and car payments and how much it costs to eat in different areas of the country. I mean, it breaks it down. It's fun. Kids get in there and they just sort of get exploring, and it's really a reality check. They have no idea how much certain parts of the country a lot of jaw drops. So, but anyway, if it's under right here. And Deb, are you seeing that in Google?
I have the fuzzy that Joyce just sent out, but I don't have the other one yet.
Okay,
Then I can add whatever you need in
great.
And then the college fair activity, we need to make mini posters.
Well,
It's all right.
yeah, I mean,
3 mini
you
posters,
can.
single sheet of typing paper, a butcher paper for each college
What-
university.
What we wanted to do, Natalie, is to make sure that we had enough things for our kids to do that day, so that you as teachers don't go, oh my God, what do we do now? Does that make sense? So there's a lot of things in there that you may not get to, and that's fine. We just wanted to supply you with enough things to
You're
do,
fine.
you know, that you're not like, oh my God, what am I going to do now? It's, you know.
That's fine, it's okay.
You don't have to do it, but you want to keep the kids in that mode of career exploration. You want to keep them there during that period of time. Make sense?
Yep.
Anything else? I appreciate your time. I have an IEP at 2 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm not sure if it'll be me picking up all of your